Welcome to the channel and welcome back to another video. On this quick video, I want to talk about the 3 reasons I don't loan money to family or friends. And then at the end of the video, or towards the end of the video, I want to talk about the alternative that I do instead of loaning money to family or friends that I think is really a good alternative because it is a win-win situation. And so it really works out well by doing that instead of loaning the money to family or friends. So my name is Eric and I write a blog at smartmoneybro.com. And on that website, I write blog posts and articles that really help ordinary people like me and you be extraordinary with our money. And I also help people with their real estate, growing it, managing it, and getting more of it. But on this video, the focus is going to be all about loaning and lending money to family or friends and why I choose not to do that, and I choose to completely stay away from that. So let's go ahead and jump into it. So the very first reason that I don't loan money to family or friends is basically because when you loan money to family or friends, I still believe in that biblical principle that the borrower is slave to the lender. And if the borrower is slave to the lender, and that means I would be a lender and a family member or friend would be the borrower. And I don't like the way that dynamic fits. I don't like the way it sounds. I don't like the whole dynamics of the relationship when I'm the lender and you're the borrower and it's a family member. Now, don't get me wrong. If I'm not related to you or you're not a friend of mine, then I will consider loaning somebody money. I'm not taking the idea of loaning money off the table. But in this video, we're talking about friends and we're talking about family. And so when you're talking about friends and family, that's a different type of relationship than the guy on the street who needs to borrow some money. Because I'll lend him some money and I'll make sure it's, 4, 5, 10, 15% interest. And he'll have to pay me back with that interest. We'll sign promissory notes or whatever. But that's not what we're talking about in this video. So some of you will probably say, well, why won't you loan money to your friends and family? If you love them, you'll go ahead and loan the money to them, whatever they need. And, they'll pay you back. And I'm saying that's not really what I want to do, because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm the lender and they're the borrower and we have the dynamics of that relationship going on. So hang tight, because at the end, again, there's going to be another scenario. There's going to be another alternative. The second reason I don't ever loan money to family and friends is pretty much along the same vein. It changes the relationship. When somebody owes you money, things are a little bit different around them. You can say what you want, because I've borrowed money from people in the past, many years ago, probably back in the 1990s. I borrowed money from somebody, and I've also had people borrow money from me back then. And it changes the relationship, because now you're going to see this person. You're going to see him at some function somewhere, somehow. Somebody is going to see them, whatever. And they're going to have on new shoes. They may have taken a vacation. They may have just bought another car, and they owe you money. And so we all know that type of thing happens. And so it changes the relationship, because the first thing you're going to say is, why do you have all that? And then you owe me $2,000, but you got that brand new car. What's going on there? Or it could be smaller amounts. You get what I'm saying. It changes the dynamics of the relationship. And so now you don't want to be watching them and what they're doing and saying, wait a minute, they owe me money, and they don't want you watching them. But it happens. It's just a natural thing that happens when somebody borrows money from you or owes you money, or you owe somebody money. And I don't want the relationships to change between family and friends. The third reason, let's go ahead and jump to the third reason that I don't loan money to family or friends ever. And that third reason is this. A lot of times when people need money, what they really need is maybe some brainstorming, thinking about some other alternative ways that they can get what they need when they need it, in their situation, whatever the issue or situation is. Sometimes they just need somebody to help them think through it, to figure out, hey, what other alternative can I do? What else can I do besides maybe borrow this $500? Is there something else I'm not thinking about? And a lot of times when people need money and they need it enough to ask you to loan them some money, they're sort of in a desperate situation sometimes, or at least they feel like they're in a desperate situation. And a lot of times when you're in a desperate situation with money, you're not thinking clear and straight. You're thinking more emotional. And maybe if you come in there as a person that's on the outside, that they've asked to loan them some money, but instead of loaning them money, you say, hey, let's sit down and think about what you're going through. Now, they may not want to tell you, and that's cool. It may not be any of your business, and that's all right if they don't want to share it with you. But this is a family member or a friend, so maybe they may want to share it with you. But maybe you can help them think through it. So a lot of times people don't necessarily need money. They need another way of thinking about the situation or the issue. That's where you can come in and help them out. So that's the third reason I don't really like to loan money, because perhaps all they need is another idea, another thought process to get them over the hump, or to get them to look at it a little bit different. So that's the three reasons. But let me give you what I like to do. So instead of loaning money to family and friends, if you are a family member or a friend of mine and you need some money, you're in a tight squeeze, then I'm going to give you whatever I can give you when you need it. And so what that means is that I'm going to give you what you need instead of loaning it to you. So if you need $500 right now and you say, man, can you loan me $500? I may not have the whole 500. I may have the whole 500. But if I have it, whatever I have and can give you, I'm going to give you. No strings attached. You don't have to ever pay me back. I'm going to give you $200 if I have $200. And therefore, I believe in giving. And I think giving is a big part of money. And most people that have a lot of money, they don't really talk about it a lot. And you don't really want to talk about it. You want to actually do it. So if you give what you can afford to give, 99 times out of 100, the person that needs the money is going to be appreciative. You've done your part to give them what you can give them. And at the same time, they're appreciative of it and knowing that you gave what you can give. So what I like to do is I like to have a conversation and say, look, I know you need the money right now, or you feel like you need a loan right now. I don't loan money to family and friends, but what I do is I give you what I can afford to give you at the time. Whether that's all of the money you need or whether it's just a little fraction of what you need, I'm going to give you whatever I can afford to give you. Now, if they get mad and don't appreciate that, that's on them. You can only do what you can do. I want to give people what I can afford to give them. And a lot of times people are pretty appreciative of that, even if they are your friends or your family. So that's my alternative, because I think in the end, if you give people what you can afford to give them, I think it's a win for them and it's a win for you. So those are my three reasons that I don't loan money to family or friends. And that's the alternative that I do so that the relationships stay intact. Again, if you're stopping by the channel for the first time, I would appreciate it if you consider subscribing. But also, if you got any value out of this video, please smash the like button. Remember, the best person to take care of the old you is the young you. Take care of yourself and take care of other people. Until the next video, peace.